Hi, I am Courtney. I am the Director of Education here at PAC, and I'm so glad that you are here today. Our summer semester is called 10-10-10 Decision Making. It's basically a decision-making tool based off of the book called 10-10-10. So I'm so grateful that you are here. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight's actually going to be a pretty quick night. The class on Monday, I want to say we might have hit 29 minutes. So don't worry, you will be back to your regular scheduled Thursday events in no time. So let's go ahead and jump right in. It doesn't look like there's anybody else coming in, but I'm so grateful you 7 are with me right now. So let's talk about decision making on the job. All right, so for anybody that attended class last week, or if anybody wants to give it a guess, use the chat box for me and just kind of throw out some things that you remember from last week. We talked about goal setting, so that kind of gives you a hint. And even if you weren't here last week, how do you goal set? Throw out some things. Ooh, that chat box is okay. Oh yes, we got the acronym. Woo! On Monday, I was like, there's an acronym, guys. What was the acronym? And nobody could remember. So yes. I see smart. So for those that were not there, when you are goal setting, it is very easy to remember the term SMART for SMART goal setting. The S stands for specific. You want your goals to be specific. You don't want to say, oh, I want to lose weight. No, you want to say, I would like to lose 77 pounds or however. So S. M is measurable. So in the weight loss example, it would be, I would like to lose 77 pounds. And the 77 pounds is the actual measurement. We're using the pounds. If you live in a different country, then maybe you would use stone or kilograms or however else they measure poundage elsewhere. Okay, yes, okay, we got a student in here writing out all the letters for the acronym. So A is attainable. If I want to lose 77 pounds, that's difficult, but it's attainable. If I say I want to lose 500 pounds, that's not attainable because I don't weigh 500 pounds, right? The R is realistic. Ooh, realistic. So attainable and realistic are very similar. In the example that I'm using with the weight loss, the realistic 77 pounds is realistic if I give myself enough time, time. But 77 pounds is not realistic if I say I want to lose 77 pounds in 2 months. That's not realistic in any way, shape, or form, right? And then the T, as I've already stated, is for time. You want to put a time limit on it. Okay, I would like to lose 77 pounds in 2 years. That is measurable, attainable, specific, realistic, and there's a time on it. If you just say, oh, I just want to lose 77 pounds, and you just leave it out there in the wind, well, how hard are you really going to try and reach that if you haven't put a timeline on it? So that's just a little recap of last week on how to use the SMART acronym to help your goal setting be a little bit easier. So let's get back to the slide. And today, if you couldn't tell by the topic on the job, we're talking about work, your values and work. So using the chat box, and there's no right or wrong answers. What does work mean to you? And this is whether you're a stay-at-home mom, this is whether or not you're outside work in the community, if you're working from home, online, no matter what your work is, what does it mean to you? Is it just a means to an end? You're just trying to get some money? Is it a way for you to give back to the community? Is it a way for you to provide for your family? What does work mean to you? So go ahead and use the chat box. Once again, there's no right or wrong answers. This is just to start to get you thinking, introspection. All right. So, okay, we've got on here work for someone is action with a purpose. Okay, I like it. This person is working with a purpose. And then for anybody new, I don't say names because we are recording. This is also why we don't want your videos on, because we are recording for YouTube. So we don't want to put y'all's government names and put y'all business out there. So that's why I'll say this person or a student. Um, Someone wrote, it brings me satisfaction. Okay. Work brings me satisfaction, a way to provide and help with my career path. Yes. Being able to provide for my family. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. This is for you. This is to get you thinking about what brings you joy, what gets you pumping, what gets you up in the day. Like, I got to go work. All right. Let's see. Okay, a stepping stone to pay for school and to support my family. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so for my new babies, I call you my babies because I love you. For my new babies, whether you have some junk mail with, a junk mail envelope, if you have a paper towel and a pen, or if you have a notebook, oh, I just threw my pen. Now's the time to grab it because we're going to be doing values excavation. So while you're grabbing your writing utensils, I'll talk about values excavation. So the word excavation, it basically means to dig. If you think about an archaeologist or a paleontologist or anybody that's digging in the ground looking for how previous beings lived on this earth, it's called excavating. And that basically means you're digging, you're unearthing something. So every week when we do the values excavation, you are unearthing you. You are unearthing information about you and your values and why you do the things that you do. So let's get to our values excavation for this week, which is all about work. So question number 1, and you can use the chat box if you want. You can use that napkin that you're going to throw away later, that blank envelope you're going to throw away later, or you can write it in a notebook that you get to look at later on and see what kind of progress you're making, or see, oh, my values were this back in July. I wonder what my values are going to be in November, December. So up to you. But question number 1, how central is my work to my happiness and my well-being? So go ahead and take a moment to think about that. And once again, you can respond in the chat box if you want to, but you do not have to. It's up to you. This whole class is up to you as to whether or not you want to participate. Question number 2, what are the motivating factors in my career? And this kind of pings back to the question on the previous slide. So money, prestige, your family, friendship, flexibility. What is the motivating factor of your career? Some people choose career paths because they make money. Some people choose career paths because they help others. Some people choose career paths because it stimulates them mentally. So everybody has their own reason for choosing a career. Okay, we got something in the chat box. It says, okay, so my career doesn't really make me happy, but it does support my family. And see, there you go. Everybody has their own reasons for why they choose the career path that they do. But in this student's case, it's supporting their family. So they're willing to sacrifice their happiness a little bit to make sure their family's taken care of. We've got another one, to support my family. Okay, another student, helping children and support. Yeah, sounds like we've got an overwhelming theme that you guys love and care for your family, and you want to make sure that they're okay. And I think that's so beautiful. All right, question number 3. Oh, we've got flexibility and money. Okay, you can't live in this world without money, unfortunately, at least not in the United States. Okay, work adds to my happiness because I get to help people and provide. Okay, so double dose, help people as well as provide. I love it. Question number 3. Haha. How do I feel when I meet someone who chooses not to work or who doesn't take his or her work seriously? We've all worked with people like this. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel anything? Do you even care what other people are doing at work? This is when I read this question, I did not create this curriculum. So when I read this question, I was like, huh, that's interesting. So how do you feel when you meet someone who chooses not to work or who doesn't take his or her work seriously? Okay, we've got as if they have no responsibility, very displeasing. So it feels when you meet somebody that chooses not to work, it feels like they don't have responsibility and it's displeasing. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. We've got a student that says they will try to motivate them. If they met a person like that, they would try to motivate them. We have another response. Choosing not to work is a personal choice, but if not doing your job affects me, I'll speak about it. Okay. Y'all are so dope. I love y'all so much. I really do. All right, we got a few more questions, a few more excavations, a few more, digging deep into your soul and your mind and your emotions. Question number 4. Do you have a dream job? If you could do any kind of work in the world, don't think about whether or not you have the education. Don't think about whether or not you have the experience. If you could do any work in the world, what would it be? So when I was a kid, I wanted to be so many things, okay? Wanted to be a K through 12 teacher. That went out the window, okay? I don't want to be a K through 12 teacher, but here I am being an educator for adults. I wanted to be a pediatric cardiologist. Basically, that's a doctor that works on the hearts of kids. And one day somebody said to me, so you just want to watch kids die all the time? At the time, I didn't realize she was trying to say that I would be an awful doctor. I just was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch babies die. I wanted to be an Egyptologist. I wanted to be an astronomer. There were just all these things that I wanted to do as a kid. And, as we see, I am an educator. So I kind of touched on one of them. Let's see, I've got on here any job to help children, a social worker or a pediatrician, but I get so emotionally attached. Oh yeah, that's difficult. Okay, social worker, yes, I could see that. Oh yeah. I do have a dream job. As a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, but I ended up in the line of nursing and I love it. I'm working towards being a health provider. You guys are amazing. Yes, you guys are helpers and nurturers. No, not yet, but I would love to be a nurse, clinical psychology with a certification in sex therapy, which I'm working on now. Yes. High five. You guys are fantastic, and I am so proud of you. I have no doubt that you guys will reach the goals that you are searching for. Question number 5. What are my talents? Ooh. Now, for some people, this is difficult for them to answer. Some people will say, I don't have any talents. Okay, take that out the window. Don't worry about what you think. What do people recognize you for? Whether or not you agree. What are people always saying? Man, you're so good at that. Man, I wish I could do that. Oh, I am currently a victim advocate for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, but I also wanted to work with youth in the school system, perhaps as a counselor. Okay, y'all such helpers. Okay, so somebody out on here says that they are talented with organization. Look, organizers can make some money. Okay, I don't know if y'all have heard of, what's her name? Marie Kondo, the does it bring you joy? If it does not bring you joy, then throw it away. Look, organizers can make so much money. You can have a side hustle business helping people organize their offices or closets or just organize their homes. One of my friends is looking to pay several $1,000s to the person that she got to do her closet. Like, you can make some money. Okay, so organization, communication. Once again, you can make some money, especially now that we are in a virtual world. You can do jobs and contract jobs with communication and never leave your house. Being patient. Okay, yeah, look, what's the saying? Patience is a virtue. Not everybody has that talent, okay? I'm a great researcher and marketing, etc. Yes, y'all are multifaceted. And that basically means y'all are talented in more than one way. So start to think about, I don't know if you know, but this theme from last week and this week is all a puzzle coming together. Basically, we're trying to start to get you thinking, oh, this is actually what I want to do with my life. This is what I need to do to get there. Question number 6. How many years do I want to work in my life? Is retirement a goal or a nuisance? Some people don't care about retirement and they want to work until the day that they die. Some people are like, I'm trying to retire before I'm 30. I'm trying to retire before I'm 40. Some people want to go out seeing the world on a cruise ship for the rest of their life. So how many years do you want to work in your life? Let's see, till retirement. Okay. I definitely want to retire and enjoy life. Okay. It's crazy because things aren't the same as it was with our parents and grandparents. Our parents and grandparents worked 20, 30 years at the same job and they retired and got a pension for the rest of their life. But back then, their lifespan was younger than it is now. Now our lifespan has increased. We don't stay with the same job for 20, 30 years. Pensions, Social Security, So, retirement is a completely different ball game now than, when our parents or grandparents were younger. Okay. If I enjoy what I do, retirement isn't a necessity. Okay. I want to work for as long as I can to keep my brain mentally stimulated. Yes, keeping your brain mentally stimulated is actually the key to a longer life. There are scientific studies done that elderly people that do Sudoku or crossword puzzles or actual puzzles or anything that stimulates their brain, they actually live longer than those that just kind of veg out on TV. So, And the final values excavation. What is my personal idea of professional success? Is it a job title? Are you successful once you reach a specific, head of nursing, head of the sociology department? Is that your personal idea of professional success? Is your idea of professional success when you've reached a specific award? Like if you were an actor, is an Oscar or an Emmy win, is that the idea of professional success? What is your view of professional success? Is it your kids being proud of you? You could be a garbage, what is it called? Waste management. You could be in waste management and you could still be proud if you're giving your all, right? So what is your idea of professional success? Yes, it helps with dementia, the keeping your mind mentally stimulated. It reads, I believe whatever your goals are, and it was meant that's what you've reached, that's what you've reached success meant. Okay. So whatever goals you reach for yourself, you reach them, you set those goals, that's professional success for this particular student. I love it. I love it. When I was younger, I used to think a particular title or a particular amount of money that you made a year meant success. Now that I'm older, a little bit wiser, I'm realizing that has nothing to do with it, because you could make $1 million a year and be a not nice person. You know what I'm saying? Like you clawed over other people to get where you are, or you threw people under the bus to get where you are. That to me isn't professional success. So, okay, yes, just knowing I've accomplished what I set out to do. I love it, guys. All right, we've got some introspection coming up. So, look, I'm using the words, y'all. I'm using the words. I know this isn't real school, but we still gonna get you thinking. So, introspection. It's basically, I like to cut this word up when I'm talking to younger folks. But like if you think of inspection, if you were inspecting something, I'm going to grab my phone. If I'm inspecting it, I'm looking at it, I'm turning it over, If it's food, maybe I'm smelling it. You're touching the texture. So introspection is inspecting yourself inside. So it's kind of like excavation. Um, just a different word, use that word in a sentence later on this week. See what kind of looks you get. Yes, my self-introspection, use it. Anyway, y'all don't mind me. I'm so silly. I love being here with you guys. Okay. Brings me joy. So start thinking. Once again, you can use the chat box. You can use your trusty dusty little notebook. But I want you to think about a few questions. First question, at work, currently at work, whether it's your dream career or not, are you behaving in a way that helps you to build your future? At work, are you behaving in a way that helps you build your future? Okay, yes, yes. Oh, I'm getting yeses across the board. Okay. So look, if you aspire to be the Attorney General, actually, if you aspire to be in, I don't know, a politician or like a senator or a House of Representatives, like if you aspire to that, then now you should be behaving in ways that you would want to behave later on. You want to speak politely when you're in public. You want to behave appropriately in public, because when you get to a certain political level, what you've done in the past matters, right? Let's see. Yes, someone's always watching. I've had plenty of people offer me a job while at work based off of how I worked and my personality. Me too. Me too. And that's important. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who's watching. I love that. Awesome. I love it. All right. Question number 2 of self-introspection. You can close your eyes. Self-introspection. Question number 2. At work, do you behave in a way that will make your children proud of you? So remember, we're talking about values. If you value honesty and you expect your children to behave in an honest way, are you behaving in an honest way at work? There are levels to the style. At work, do you behave in a way that will make your children proud of you? I've got on here, of course, I'm my child's main role model. Yes, your children's main role models should be you guys, not the singer or the rapper or the athlete, even though they're not necessarily bad role models, but you as their parent should be their role model. I love it. We are our children's first teacher. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. I'm reading all these. I love it. Y'all bring me so much joy. I'm preaching to the choir. I need to be talking to other folks because y'all are already there. I got on here all the time. Yes. Question number 3, very similar. Do you model your values for your children in the way that you behave at work? So basically, let's say you value quality time with family, and your boss comes to you and says, oh, I messed up on something. I need you to fix it and stay after work for 3 hours. So you value quality time with your family, and your boss's mistake is requiring you to stay late. Now, let's say your children are old enough to understand this, not like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, but let's say your children are old enough to understand, well, Mom, but you promised we'd go for ice cream. Yeah, but, da-da-da. So are you modeling your values to your children? And that might have been a bad example because, when it's your boss, your coworker made a mistake and was like, girl, I need you to stay. Okay, all right. So bottom item to ponder, even if you don't like your current job or position, strive to have a good work ethic. This will come in handy for your dream job or position. Once again, we talked about that a little bit earlier, that you never know who's watching. So even if let's say you're working in a fast food position right now and your goal is to be, a nurse, you still want to give your best self at your current position, because they're the ones that are probably going to be your reference for your stepping stones to get into nursing. So always just strive to be your best self. Don't allow other people's actions to take you out of the person that you are. Okay, let's see. All right. So I actually really don't like these slides. We're going to talk about them because they're in the curriculum. But I'm not really a fan of, it's hard to 10, 10, 10 on the backside, Hindsight, of course, is always 20/20. But for my new students, 10, 10, 10 is basically a mnemonic device. I'm giving you another word, mnemonic. Basically, you're looking at a decision that you need to make, and you're trying to decide, how will this affect me in 10 minutes, short term? How will this affect me in 10 weeks or 10 months, medium term? And how will this affect me in 10 years, long term? So when you have a decision in front of you, you need to look at the entire picture, not just how is this going to affect me right now. You also want to look at how is this going to affect me across time into the future. So this slide says, to practice using your trusty dusty notebook, think about something you've done at work that you handled well. 10, 10, 10 it and determine why it went great. So basically this exercise wants you to look at something that happened positively, something that you did at work, whether it was a report, whether it was a presentation, whether it was a case that was done well. It wants you to look at that decision back whenever it happened and think what steps you took to make that decision go well. Once again, I'm not really a fan of this. I might actually overhaul this for next summer. But either way, for right now, think about something you did well at work and kind of think to yourself, use your notebook, what did I do right? And how will that help me in the future? Okay. Along the same vein, I would like you to think about a time at work where something you did not go well. You didn't get that report in on time, or there was a mistake on it. You fumbled on your presentation and weren't prepared. Your case went wrong, or, whatever, something that went wrong at work. And once again, kind of review it and think about, well, what did I do that caused this negative action? And what can I change to make it happen better in the future? So once again, you're doing this on your notebook. This is not for the chat box. This is, more for your information. And it says at the bottom, now looking at both scenarios, the time at work where you did something great, and then the time at work where something didn't go so well. And it wants you to look, the curriculum wants you to look and see whether or not there's a relationship between your values and how you handled those situations. Were you rushing and maybe you weren't patient and maybe that's where the mistake came from? Were you procrastinating and maybe that's why you weren't prepared? Just kind of start thinking what your values are when it comes to work, and whether or not you're living those values in how you are doing your work. All right, so we had homework last week. There is a website called ONET. Well, the website is My Next Move, but there is a measurement tool called the ONET Interest Profiler. And basically what it is a test of about 60 questions. Don't let that scare you. It took me, I've taken it every year for 3 years, and it takes me less than 10 minutes at this point. It will probably take you less than 20 minutes because you have to get used to it. But basically, it's a questionnaire. Once again, 60 questions. It might say something like, which do you enjoy more, installing kitchen cabinets or teaching physical therapy or teaching physical education? Which do you like more, planting flowers or writing a play? It's really, really easy. And like I said, it's about 60 questions, but at the end of the 60 questions, then you get a little results report that talks to you about what interests you based off of the test and what jobs go with those interests. So they're in 5 different, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next week. At the bottom, and I will send this out in the email. Oh, we've got somebody that says they did it. Okay. All right. They said, I did it last week. It was very helpful. My current interest is what it gets. Yes. So this student says that they took it, and what the measurement said was their interest is actually this student's interest. So it was accurate for her. So you guys have 1 more week to do it. Next week, we'll actually go in detail about the different areas and the types of jobs. We'll go in detail next week. So your homework, and once again, I'm not going to check. I will know you didn't do it if you don't participate, but you're not getting deductions or anything like, oh, you didn't do your homework. Strike out for you, whatever. So go to myNextMove.org/explore/IP. And you're going to do the ONET Interest Profiler. You have an entire week, well, less than a week if you come to class on Monday, but we're just going to assume you'll be here next Thursday. So you have an entire week. Tomorrow when I send out the email, I'll send the link as well. So actually, I need to put myself a little note so I can remember to send this to you guys. But go ahead and try out the Interest Profiler and see what pops up. And then next week, we will get to talk about your different interests and what that means for your career goals. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Like I said, I've taken it, 3 times at this point, and it's pretty spot on. So I would love for you to take it. That is actually the last slide. Look at that. We're at what, 5:35, 5:36? I told you it was going to be a pretty quick class. So once again, if anybody came in and did not put their attendance, this is your last chance. I'm going to talk another 30 seconds or so. First name, last name, email address. I will email everybody tomorrow. And then you have the entire weekend to respond so that I can put in your diaper request for you to pick up next week. So when I tell you guys that I really enjoy you and you guys bring me joy, I really mean it. I talk about you guys all the time. Anybody that has a baby that was born this year, send me a picture. Our donors love to see it. Our donors love to see babies that are older than 6 months too. But yeah, send me pictures. Thank you so much for the emails. Looks like the chat has kind of slowed down. I love you guys. You are worthy, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Got a little chat pop up that says, I love these classes. So thank y'all so much. Have a great weekend. Ooh, I have a baby this week. Yeah, this year. Yes, send me pictures. Send me pictures. All right, bye y'all. Have a good one. Love you.